TheJaseDawg here, and welcome back to another episode of This Week in WWE with TheJaseDawg. That's right. So guys, we're up to episode number 28. That is right. We're getting very close to the 30s. So this is actually starting to look like it's going to be one of my longest series type of thing on the channel. So thumbs up guys, make sure you hit that like button hard to show your support for TheJaseDawg and the Dog Squad. Hashtag Dog Squad in the comment guys. Now guys, if you haven't seen what happened this week in WWE, make sure you head on over to the WWE Network right now and check it out. So let's get right into it guys. So pretty much we started with Raw. Now, we had Enzo and Sasha Banks versus Chris Jericho and Charlotte in a first ever mixed tag for the new type of split situation. Now this was actually pretty damn cool. Because before that, you know, Sasha and Enzo were running the mic right at them, like they were carving it up, and Charlotte and Chris Jericho were kind of like, we don't really know what to do. But however, in the match, it came down to the very end where Sasha almost had the win, and then Dana cost her by distracting her, and then she got rolled up after. So Dana tried to cost her, she got out of it. And then Chris Jericho got in, she slapped Chris Jericho, and then Charlotte hit her with the natural selection, 1, 2, 3, Charlotte got the win. And then after the match, Enzo got a code breaker from Chris Jericho, and Big Cass came down and scared Jericho away. Now, I don't really know what the hell, you know, is the sitch with this, but we're going to stay and we're going to continue to watch it to see what actually happens guys. So the next thing was Braun Strowman came out, beat the living shit out of another rookie jobber again, and carved it up. Braun for the win. Next thing we had Finn Balor was meant to have an interview with Michael Cole, but Seth interrupted it, and it ended up turning out to be kind of like a back and forth talk, and it ended up with Seth getting kicked in the guts and having to get out of the ring because Finn was trying to beat him up. Because Seth tried to attack him first, but it's actually looking really good. I'm really excited about this match at SummerSlam. Heading into the next one, we had Rusev defend the United States Championship against the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Now, in this match, of course you knew that Mark Henry wasn't going to win. And of course he didn't. He tapped like a bitch. And so he's world's strongest man, but he tapped out to the accolade. But, no hate. But pretty much after the match, Roman Reigns came out, and I'm guessing he wants a title shot because he was looking at the title, and he did Superman punch Rusev, and they did fight. And I think we're going to have a title shot for Roman with the United States. Now, out of the Shield members, they've all held the main. Dean is the only one that's held all but tag titles. Seth, all but Intercontinental. Roman Reigns, just one half of the tag and 3-time WWE champion. No minors. So this could be interesting to see if Roman actually gets it. I'm very interested. Like, I like both Roman and Rusev. Like, I do dislike Roman sometimes, but I do like him as a wrestler. And I do want to see him take the title because then it gives Rusev and Lana some time to go on their honeymoon and boinkity boinkity boink. But yeah, so yeah, because they just got recently married too. That's why. Heading into the next thing, it was Titus O'Neil versus Darren Young, former PGP. Millions of dollars. So these two battled it out, and of course Titus cheated to get the win because he desperately needed the win. And he rolled Darren up, I think. Yeah, he rolled him up by his tights, and then backstage he was threatening to beat Bob Backlund up because of, I don't know why. I don't know why he was threatening to beat him up, but Darren did lay him out with a fucking forearm to the face. It's like, yeah, block the heat, Titus, you motherfucker. Darren's gonna beat your ass at SummerSlam, son. Because we all know that Darren actually was closer to winning championship gold with the Intercontinental title against The Miz than Titus has ever been with his shot against Rusev. 2 shots. Failed shots. But, next thing we had the New Day come out, and they versed Anderson and Gallows, yeah. And New Day won Did they? Yeah, I think New Day did win because of DQ. I think they won because of a DQ. I'm not too sure, I can't really remember, but I know after the match it was an all-out brawl and the club laid out all 3 members of the New Day and Big E got laid the fuck out with they grabbed each of his legs and yanked it onto the pole and ooh, mama, there goes his nutticles. So he tested, and I think he's injured maybe, I think, because of it. We don't know. So we then had Cesaro versus Sheamus, and now the winner of this one would actually get a title shot eventually down the track, but they had to prove themselves. Now, of course, Cesaro got the win, but after the match it was an all-out break, like all-out war type of thing. Followed by, after that match, shortly after, Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal win the ring, and they were talking about being a 2-man band, baby, and that they were going to get signed to Raw or SmackDown no matter what. Mick Foley came out and said, look, I've got one spot and I'm going to make a match right now between the 2 of you. Winner will get the contract to be a part of Raw. Now, Heath's like, nah, we're not going to do that. And then while Heath was doing that, Jinder's like getting the ref ready and he's lining up, and then Heath turns around, boom, big kick, 1, 2, 3, Jinder gets a contract. Jinder Mahal is on Raw. Poor Heath, he's still not on a brand, but we do find out on SmackDown that he will be getting a shot next week's SmackDown against Rhino, and if he beats Rhino, he will get a contract. I don't think that's going to happen, because gore! That's right. So, then we had Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn. Awesome match, probably one of the best matches of the show, and pretty much Seth won with that awesome pedigree. Sami Zayn sold it. He sold it, and pretty much after that match, we had Brock Lesnar came out with Paul Heyman, and they were talking about Randy Orton big time. They were really getting into it. They were like, no, Randy, you motherfucker, you know, talking about all that shit. And then Paul Heyman's like, he'll never get an RKO out of nowhere. And then next minute, RKO! Lays out Brock with an RKO. Randy came out of nowhere. He was underneath the ring, I believe. And he goes up into the crowd and security's chasing him. And he's like, yeah, that's right. RKO out of nowhere. Welcome to Viperville, bitch. Now, of course, knowing that happened, of course, now Brock Lesnar's going to be on his tail and trying to get him with an F5, taking the suplex city, bitch. But we'll soon find out, because we're heading into SmackDown right now, guys. So we started SmackDown with a triple threat between Apollo Crews, Kalisto, and Baron Corbin. Now, this match was pretty cool. Apollo Crews won, or as Daniel Bryan called him, Apollo Creed. But Apollo Crews won, so he's the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship, held by the one, the only, The Miz. And pretty much, after the match, it was an all-out kind of brawl, and it ended up with Apollo, Kalisto, Miz all laid out, and Corbin just standing there like, yeah, I'm strong. Then Eva Marie was scheduled to have a match with Becky Lynch, and when she was jumping off the top, when she was up on the top turnbuckle, she stepped, kind of jumped backwards down, and I guess she tweaked her leg or something, or ripped the muscle, I don't know. She was grabbing at it, and she's like, and she couldn't wrestle, and she just got it out. So, no idea what happened there, but Eva Marie injured? Maybe? Now, next thing was we had America Alpha debuted against the Vaudevillains, and of course we all knew they were going to get the win, and good on them because that was an awesome match. Then we headed into AJ and Cena were in the ring talking about shit, and AJ challenged him to a match at SummerSlam, and Cena accepted. Now this is a one-on-one match without no club, without no nothing. AJ wants to take him and do his one favourite thing in the world, beat up John Cena. Now, I've got AJ for that, without a doubt. AJ's going to beat John Cena. Heading into the next thing, we had Randy Orton was versing Fandango, I believe, and he hit an RKO on Fandango, and then out of nowhere, F5. That's right, Brock Lesnar here with an F5. And laid him out, and then Brock got escorted out by security, but he actually hit him with an F5, so they've both done shots at each other. RKO on Raw, F5 on SmackDown. Now, don't forget, guys, these two superstars are on different brands. Randy's on SmackDown, and Brock's on Raw. But this match for SummerSlam was made before the draft, so it's interesting. Because it's like brand warfare. Now, Dolph's the number one contender for Dean. Bray challenged him to a match where the winner would keep the number one contendership. So it was Bray vs Dolph. It looked like Dolph was going to lose a lot of times, but I don't know, I guess he kind of cheated to win because he slammed Bray's head into a turnbuckle that was non-padded and then rolled him up and got the win. So I guess Dolph's still the number one contender, but the way he won, I did not expect him to win like that. But I was like, okay, he's still the show off. Heading into NXT, we had Hideo Itami returned. That's right. Yeah. Hideo is back, and who did he verse? He versed someone from the Cruiserweight Classic. I can't remember the name off the heart, but he beat the guy, and it was a good match for Hideo, and he actually showed that even though he's had that injury and he's been out for way over, more than a year, I think it was, but he's still got what it is that makes him Hideo. And after that we had Asuka versus Aaliyah. Now, Bayley was at ringside and she was watching this match. Of course, Asuka would win. And she made Aaliyah tap and she just kept the submission in. Bayley got in there to kind of get her to stop and they were staring each other down. So next week, there will be a contract signing for the Women's Championship on NXT. So it should be interesting. I don't know who I have to win it out of these two at Brooklyn, but interesting. Then we had the long anticipated wait of Bobby Roode. The It Factor made his TV debut, but it wasn't a match. It was more just him talking about how he's going to make NXT glorious. And I can't wait. And he's shown that he is a heel, and this is going to be good because Austin Aries is also a heel. So will we have the dirty heels come into play? I'm very, very excited about this because as someone that used to watch TNA all the time, I'm a huge Bobby Roode fan, so I can't wait. And then we also had the main event of NXT. It was TM61 versus the Revival, and of course the Revival got the win because they're the tag champs. But after the match, Gargano and Ciampa came out and were like dropping some mad burns and whatnot on them, and pretty much shoved it in their face and laid out the Revival and held the titles because we all, just admit it guys, we all want Gargano and Ciampa to be the NXT Tag Team Champions. So guys, that's all that happened this week in WWE with the TheJaseDawg. Hope you all enjoyed, because if you did, make sure to hit that like button hard guys, but not too fucking hard, don't break your computers. If you want to join the Dog Squad, hit the subscribe button and spread the word of the TheJaseDawg to everybody you know. And if you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, the links are in the description down below. And guys, let me know in the comments below what was your favourite thing that happened this week in WWE, whether it was an RKO of Nowhere, the F5, or the glorious debut of Bobby Roode. And as always guys, stay awesome. The TheJaseDawg is out of here. See ya.